In today's video, we're going to talk about a parenting plan and what the language of a parenting plan looks like. I'm not going to talk about any of the statutes that apply to custody, whether it's legal custody or physical custody, as we covered that in a separate video. So we're just going to show what the actual legal document will look like generally. So I'm going to share my screen here. And I've created a parenting plan and shown you some options of what various parenting plans can look like. So first, it's generally going to deal with legal custody. So I've created a couple of different scenarios here. So your standard joint legal custody will say that the party shall share joint legal custody of the minor children. Or in some situations, one parent may have final decision making. So it would just say that the parties shall share joint legal custody of the children, final decision making to one of the parents. Here I just put the mother. Or in some situations, you'll have sole legal custody to one parent, and this is how that would be articulated in a parenting plan. Then a lot of parenting plans will have some generic joint legal custody language. You don't have to have this language, but a lot do, just to kind of articulate and help folks understand what joint legal custody means. So here we've got the father and mother agree that they will confer with reference to matters of policy involving the children as to topics such as health and medical care, religion, education, camps, and activities. And the parties agree that they will attempt to adopt a harmonious policy best suited to the interests of the children. Except as may be otherwise set forth herein, routine day-to-day decisions shall be made by each parent during the times that the children are with him or her. All major decisions affecting the children shall be made by the parties jointly, with each parent to have an equal voice in such decisions. In addition, the parties shall confer whenever differences arise or decisions are to be made or changes brought about affecting the children's life with respect to such non-routine matters as their education, financial matters, religious training, illness and operation, and other matters of similar importance. Each party shall have an equal voice in making a decision on such matters. So I'm not going to read through all this, but it's just, you can pause the video and look at it. It's just generic language that really kind of lays out what joint legal custody is and what it means in the day-to-day to have joint legal custody. So below that, we show kind of the meat of a parenting plan, which is the schedule and the day-to-day of, where the kids are, which parent they're with. So I've created a couple of different generic scenarios, and really these can be tailored to whatever works best for a family. But these are the generic ones that we generally use as a framework, and we'll tweak it based on, how a family operates in their day-to-day routine. So sometimes there will be shared physical custody, or one parent will have primary custody. So if one parent has primary custody, then you'll have to lay out the parenting time for the non-custodial parent. So here we just put the father shall have parenting time with the minor children every Wednesday from school pickup or 3 p.m. if no school, and every other Friday through Monday. Every other Friday through Monday from school pickup or 5 p.m. if no school, until school drop off or 9 a.m. if no school. And again, you can tailor this however you want. You may want to have an overnight during the week rather than just a, we have to put when this ends. Until 8, yeah. And every other Friday through Monday from school pickup or 5 p.m. if no school. Okay, so that is kind of a generic schedule when one parent has primary physical custody. Here is a shared physical custody scenario. So the mother shall, so it's basically one parent has every Monday and Tuesday night, another parent has every Wednesday and Thursday night, and they alternate weekends. So the mother shall have parenting time every Monday from school pickup or 5 p.m. if no school, through Wednesday school drop-off, or 5 p.m. if no school. The father shall have parenting time every Wednesday from school pickup through Friday school drop-off. And then like I said, the parties will alternate the weekends. So that's kind of your standard shared physical custody. But you don't necessarily have to have a set schedule. You can, if you've got older kids, for example, or you've got two parents who work really well together, they may not even want to put a schedule in stone. They may feel that they can work it out amongst themselves. And then ultimately, at the end of the day, all of these parenting plans are modifiable based on a change in circumstance. So if something happens where a certain parenting plan no longer works based on the schedule of the kids, or maybe one parent's work schedule, then you can always come back and modify it. Or if, for example, you put this generic language in where you say you're going to work it out amongst yourselves, and then it turns out you can't, then you can always come back and ask that the court put a set schedule in place. Sometimes people want kind of to dictate FaceTime or phone contact at night for the parent who's not with the children. You're going to want to dictate, well, you don't have to, but oftentimes you want to lay out which parent is going to do the transportation. Sometimes, the non-custodial parent will do all the transportation, or sometimes the custodial parent will do all the transportation, or you may share responsibility for transportation. And then you're going to want to figure out holidays. Sometimes you may have language that just says, the parents will equally divide or equitably divide holidays and vacations by mutual agreement. Or if you've got folks who don't get along so well, or just want to have a set schedule, you can do that. Generally speaking, mom will get Mother's Day, dad will get Father's Day. You're going to want to possibly, some people don't care about birthdays so much, but you may want to lay out parenting time for the birthdays of the children, or you also may want to add in language for the birthdays of each parent. If it's mom's birthday, she may want to have parenting time on that day, and vice versa for dad. So you may want to put language in that deals with that. And then, you're going to want your standard holidays. There's obviously different cultures, and you may have Jewish holidays, or, other holidays that, you can put into a parenting plan. Some people will want to, share each holiday, where, one parent gets the first half of the day on Easter, the other parent gets the second half, or they want to alternate holidays. But this can very much be tailored to however people want to work out their holidays and what their families have done historically. So the standard ones that are often in there are Easter. Sometimes, it's not necessarily in there. So more commonly, you have Memorial Day, July 4th, Labor Day, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and New Year's. So, you can, again, pause this video and look at the language for, how some generic language on how to alternate those holidays. And then you're going to want to, generally speaking, deal with school breaks. So you're going to usually want to alternate winter vacation and spring break from school between the parents. And then usually there's also additional vacation time that's put into a parenting plan. And what I usually put is that, the parties will have 2 non-consecutive weeks of parenting time with the kids, and then they'll exchange their requested vacation periods by a certain day each year. And then if if the dates that they're requesting overlap with one another, you'll usually want to give one parent final decision making on the summer vacation. We usually alternate that back and forth. So we've got in the event that the parties cannot reach an agreement on the timing of the aforementioned parenting time, the father shall have final say on even years, and the mother shall have final say on odd years. So that's kind of how you deal with any conflicts. You want to minimize the likelihood of folks having to come back and modify this stuff. And then, alternating final say on vacation is important because it eliminates any ambiguity. So that's really the basics of a parenting plan. This can be, tailored to an individual family's needs. Some people may need more details in here on, how to deal with certain legal custody issues. But these are the basics that you really want in your standard parenting plan.